Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, February 22nd, 2021. We're in the first day of the new trading week, and we are in the final hour of the current trading day. The current trading day is my favorite time of the day to make my buying and selling decisions, because at the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they can take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms. They're dealing with the most money. They have the best information, best technology, very smart people. And I consider making my buying and selling decisions based upon what they do at the end of the day a long-term edge in my trading approach. So thank you all for coming today. It's always nice to see everyone. I appreciate you coming here, spending your time. I hope it is paying off for you and you're learning some good trading and investing principles. Currently, the Dow Jones is up 125 points, up 0.41. The NASDAQ, however, is down 236.47 points, down 1.7%. So a big day down on the NASDAQ, and the S&P is down 12 points, down 0.33%. So here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we are going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a couple day trades today, one winning, one winners, one losers. I'll share both of those with you. After that, I'm going to go over to the board. My students, some of my current and past students, have current positions up on the board. We're going to go through each one. We're going to take a look and see how those are doing today. After that, we are going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. Most important part of trading, most important skill that you'll ever develop is the skill of being able to create a plan and follow your plan. And for those of you who have been trading for a while, you know this is the case. It's pretty easy to put together a plan, but following it is a whole other thing. It's like going on a diet. We know what to do. we eat better food, less food, exercise more. Like, we know what works, but following it, well, that's a whole different story. And it's the same thing for trading. So we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. Hopefully that will be helpful. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. The first requirement is I need to have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Number 2, I need to have a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1, meaning that if I'm risking $100 to the downside, I need to be able to make 200 or more to the upside. And then number 3, as with every day, regardless of what you're doing, before you hit that buy button, before you decide that you need to buy another position, make sure it's a good, clean trade. It has strong resistance, or a strong support. It has strong resistance above you. You know exactly where you're going to get in. You know exactly where you're going to get out. Make sure that you're not taking it just out of habit. Make sure you're taking it because it is a good trade. Consider if you already have 2 or 3 positions that are in the same industry, you don't want to load up too strongly in any one industry, because you're just exponentially making your risk grow by doing that. Good to be diversified, even outside of equities, such as gold, bonds, silver, the dollar, etc. All right. So, and then I also should say, take a look at your account heat. What percentage of your account is at risk? 60% is the maximum that I will ever put at risk. That's just something that I learned from Steve Burns, and it suited me very well. So those are the 3 requirements. I do have some potential end of day candidates. We'll go through each one as we get closer to the close. I'm going to go through them with a fine-tooth comb, look at multiple time frames, look at multiple support resistance, look at the risk to reward. And if I can find one at the end of the day that looks good, I will go ahead and purchase it before the closing bell. After the market closes, if you have any other questions or need clarification on anything that I did today or spoke about today, please let me know. I'm happy to answer. I've restricted the board just to current and past students to free up some time. So we do have extra time. So if you would like to look at any particular stock, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay. And then if any of my students do have any new entries or exits today, if you could please wait till the end of the day so that the market's closed, I'm done trading, pressure's off, and then we'll get them all updated for you. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. I'll be back in about 40 seconds. So hang tight. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's take a look and see who is here today. Brian is here. Good to see you, Brian. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for coming. Lova is here. Nice to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming. Tracy Peterson is here. Hello, Tracy. Good to see you. Hope you and Paxton are doing well and looking forward to seeing you both on Wednesday for our lesson. Dan says, hi, hi, hi. Good to see you, Dan. Appreciate you being here as always. Thanks for the 3 highs. Gary says, hello, Greg and group. Happy Monday. Take a look at VUZI. I mentioned this a month ago. I kept a 10% trailer in this with a cost basis of $1.44. ARK Invest added it. Oh, well, that's all I need to hear. That means it's up. VUZI. Am I going to be... That's the 19. Oh, very nice, Gary. Congratulations. Look at that, everybody. Up 21.83 cents today. And Gary is in at $1.44. Wow. Congratulations. That's fantastic, Gary. Kamal is here. Good to see you, bud. Thank you for your scanner today. Thanks for your friendship. Thanks for everything that you do for the channel. Miko is here. Good afternoon, Greg and everyone. Hello, Miko. Good to see you, sir. Hope you are doing well. Carlos is here. Hey, Carlos. Good to see you, bud. Looking forward to our lesson this evening. Were you able to get the price data downloaded for Trade Navigator? So, all right. Wow. I don't even want to move away from VUZI here. Nothing looks as good as that today. Wow, fantastic, fantastic. Well, let's get going. We'll take a look at current positions. Okay, Johnson and I did buy Alibaba on Friday. It was an end of the week trade. It was a weekly trade. I bought it with the 520 crossover at 263.27. Not cooperating today. The tech name's down today. It is down 3.18%. When I take a position on a weekly, I take my maximum allowed loss by the value of the 2 ATR on the weekly, which is a much larger number, which gives me much fewer shares, which I'm certainly grateful for in this case because it's less to the downside. But the reason that it gives you fewer shares is that, of course, the average movement in a week is a whole lot different than a day. If this were to close on Friday just like this, I would have to get out because 2 things have happened. One, the price is below both the 5 and the 20. That's why I took it. And the 5 crossed under the 20. But I am not going to do anything with this trade. I'm going to give it some breathing room for the week because this is a weekly trade, unless I were to hit my emergency stop. And my emergency stop is 2 ATRs below my entry, and that I would get out at any time. But you can see right about down here would be my emergency stop, so it gives me lots of room. And if it gets down to this level, well, you know, I had to be okay with losing that in the first place, which I am. So anyway, we'll see what happens, but this one did not start off on a good foot. Clorox is a daily trade. I'm in a half position. Gary's in a half position. We bought back here on the 17th. When we had this, we moved down, we had sideways motion, we had a V1, we had a bullish engulfing bar, we closed above the 5 EMA. Of course, I take profits as we go up. I think I hit one profit target so far on Clorox at profitable levels. I got in at 187.70. It's currently 187.50. So it's only down 20 cents from entry. And I'm very glad to see it green today because it was much lower. So anyway, steady as she goes on this one. I don't see any changes on this one. My stop would be a close below halfway of the washout bar at 184.10. So this one will be a keeper. Wow. Well, this one surprised me today, but I did buy Cinemark. I want to say Cinnabon. I bought Cinemark back here with the break of the fractal. The fractal is a high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. I bought it at 20.52 with the fractal break and the V2. Kind of moved sideways, didn't do anything. The last couple days, it has really rocketed it. It's up 8.34% today. And I did hit two profit targets, one here at 22.61 and one at 23.39. Earnings are on the 26th in the morning, so I'm going to have to exit this 25th at the close at the latest. It's a 71.08 RSI. I'm going to have to watch this one carefully at the end of the day. If it closes under the 70, I'm either going to get out of half or get out of everything. I don't like that we have this big down bar here and we're getting close to rallying to right half. That would be the 50% retracement on the way back up, which more times than not, I find there's resistance. But it's a 71.21 RSI. I'm going to have to watch this one very closely in case there's a sell-off. But this has been a really good trade. I mean, in the last week or so, this is up 13.55%. So it's been a great one. Ollie. Johnson and I bought Ollie half position back here at 96.11. Bullish engulfing bar, trigger of a fractal the previous day, and then added up with strength here. Bought it at 96.11. It's 92.43, so it is down today. My end of day stop on this is going to be a close below the 200-day moving average. You can see it bounced right at the 2. But if it closes even a penny under that, I'm just going to have to go ahead and get out. And it's just one of these things I'm grateful for, that yes, I bought the position, but I'm grateful that I only bought half. But I bought half on CNK as well. No, I didn't. I added when it came back. That's right. Okay. The Qs. I did short the Qs on the weekly, which has turned out pretty well. In fact, I did short the Qs. We had on Friday, it's a weekly trade. We had a bearish engulfing bar to the downside. We had a V1. We lost the 70 RSI. There were a lot of bearish divergences in place, meaning that we kept going up and up and up and up and up, but the MACD readings went down, 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 showing that there was a lack of momentum. So far, really good trade. I shorted at 330.74. It's currently at, I hit one profit target at 325.39, and currently it's 324, down 2%, which is a big move on an index like that. Overnight SPY trade. Had a losing trade on overnight SPY trade. I got in Friday at 390.03. Sold this morning at 387.06. So just about $3 to the downside loss. We had this nice move up here where there were 6 or 7 profitable days in a row, but the last week has been choppy. There's been some gains, there's been some losses, there's been some losses, there's been some gain, there's been some losses here. So anyway, not a good overnight SPY trade, but of course I will be buying this at the close, holding it overnight, selling it first thing the next morning, but it is profitable on the year. Williams Sonoma. am I the only one in Williams Sonoma? Yes. I bought Williams Sonoma at 127.58. Bullish engulfing bar, false breakout to the downside, 520 crossover. Friday ripped up nice and higher. Today it was up higher also. Did not hit a profit target. Exactly at break even. So obviously I'd rather have a profitable trade, but if you can't have a profitable trade, break even is the next best thing, right? So I don't see any reason to get out of this trade. At the moment, it's 54.09. If I lost the 50 RSI, I would sell half, but right now we're kind of comfortably above that. All right. I did have a day trade today on TLT. Boy, this thing just will not go up. Anyway, I bought here, and good thing I exited when I did. We have a low with deep red MACD bars. We have a rally into green MACD bars. We came back down here, made an equal to or lower low with no red bars, which is a bullish divergence. That is a positive sign. On this 25-minute bar here, it went under 30 and over 30. So that was my trigger. I got in at 142.68. Next bar went down, but just barely held the 30 RSI, so I kept it. Then it rallied, and I thought I was in good shape, and then I had to get out here at 142.48. So it was a loss. I got in at 142.68, got in out at 142.48. So it was a 20-cent loss. Not a big deal, but the more important factor here is, look, I got out when I was supposed to here instead of thinking it would come back, and look at the sell-off it's had ever since then. Wow. So that one was a losing trade. I did have a winning trade on Apple, my go-to trade. I bought it here on the 5-minute bar when we went under 30, over 30, and we also closed above the 5 EMA. I bought it here at 126.33. Couple bars up, I went ahead and sold half. Why are my lines wrong? I sold it here. I must have moved my line. Yeah, I sold it here at the end of this bar here. So right around 126.82. So I got in under 30, over 30 at 126.33. I got out at 126.86. Moved sideways, had another big up bar here that looked like it rejected 50. I got out at 127.07, and I finally had to close below the previous day's low. So in at 126.33, out at 126.82, out at 126.92, out at 127.07. So good trade on that. That paid for the losing trade on TLT and a little bit more. So happy for a profitable day trade. Carlos says, I don't think so. I'm watching the tutorial on it after the close and see if I can get that going. Yeah, if you can't, give them a call as well, or we'll try to figure it out tonight. Gary says, nice run in CNK, Greg. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Hey, Steve. Good to see you, bud. Steve Burns is here. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here, Steve. I really mean that. I'm sure everyone else knows that and feels the same way. Steve says, Qs back near lows of the day. Yes, they are. They are right back there near the lows. And I'm not usually short the Qs, but I am glad that I obviously took that short on the weekly. So my voice is a little weak today. I was a little under the weather over the weekend, and I woke up this morning not feeling so hot tamale. So I'm doing my best. Bear with me today, all right? Frank is here. Hey, Frank, good to see you. Always nice to have you, sir. Thank you for everything that you do for the group. Frank says, Gary, those trailers, when done right, can be the tail wagging the dog. That's right. Remember that movie, Wag the Dog? Morgs is here. Good to see you, Morgs. Hope you got my reply email last night. Johan is here. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a nice evening. Steve says, Facebook bounced off the 200-day moving average today. Yes, it did. That is one of the ones on my watch list today. Gary says, Frank, you are not kidding. I am up 1,045.89%. Wow. Wow, that is fantastic, Gary. Just superb. I think Frank has a poem for us, so let's take a look here. Let me type this in here. All right, let's read. The right hand of the market brings profit and delight, but the left hand can take it like a thief in the night. Who's to say who's wrong or right? A trader prepares for what's ever in sight. Excellent, Frank. As always, it's fantastic. Let's try it one more time. The right hand of the market brings profit and delight. Yes, it does. But the left hand can take it like a thief in the night. It can take it quick. Who's to say what's wrong or right? A trader prepares for what's ever in sight. You have to be prepared for whatever's going to happen. Dr. Alexander Elder says, look, you don't know what the market's going to do, but if you do not know what you do, what you're going to do based upon what the market does, you are in deep trouble. And that's why you always have to have a plan, everybody. You have to have a solid plan. You have to know, when am I going to get out in emergency? When am I going to get out end of day stop? Where are my profit targets going to be above me? Where is my trailing stop level? Where are significant levels of resistance above me where I'm going to get out of half of my position? I mean, that's how I trade. I know that's not how everyone else's trade, but I'm just speaking for myself. Like, I don't care what happens. I know what I'm going to do because I have a trading plan, and that is what's important, is to have a trading plan. All right, well, let's head over, take a look at everyone's positions. So Morgs, are you still in this, bud? Morgs bought NIO at 58 even. Looks like this higher low V2 worked out nicely initially, but boy, it has just gone down and down and down and down, down 6.7% today. So give me an update, Morg, on that, whether you have that or not. That one's getting away from you a little bit. SQ. Huh. This was up earlier when I saw it. Johan bought SQ at 237.67. Jatson bought it at 245. He sold a quarter. So both are up on the trade. It is down on the day, but they are both up on the trade, which is good. NVAX. This is one of those trailers we were talking about where Frank bought at 135 and had, it more than doubled. Unreal. Just unreal. He sold 90%, kept a 10% trailer. It is down 10.6% today. We are coming back into the value zone, which is important, right? I mean, things always come back into the value zone. Eventually they will. This is what I consider value. This is, if I was looking to buy NVAX, this is the area, this is kind of the zone that I would start thinking about it again. But of course, up here, I don't even think about thinking about it when it's up at that level. CARR. Okay, Kamal bought CARR at 37.24. It is currently 37.45. It is down a little bit today, but Kamal is up on the trade, so that's good. Oh my. All right, so Kamal and Johan bought EGHT at 35.54. Had a huge big move up on Friday, but I don't know what happened here today. It's down 10.79%. Ugh, that's horrible. I mean, talk about a reversal bar. That is brutal. So anyway, down on the day, and it looks like down on the trade as well. Boeing. Man, Boeing was profitable. Well, we have Johan here. Johan flies a 777, so he has some practical experience. But Kamal bought Boeing on Friday at 217.50. Then we had the news about those engine parts falling off. Earlier in the day when I was speaking with Kamal, it was up, which was a good sign to see it shrugging off that news, but it has since gone negative, down 1.41%. So down on the day and now also down on the trade. Quad Racer bought Verizon with a double bottom, bullish divergence, intraday, under 30, over 30, bought it at 54.17. It is currently 56.40. This was a great trade for a bunch of us. I think Quad's been working, so I don't know if he still has it, but it's down a little on the day, but certainly up on the trade. PSNL, Yas bought PSNL at 40.45. Initially bounced up, but drifted down, and today's a big down day, down 10.09%. And then lastly, OCFT, Kamal bought OCFT intraday today at 1950. It is 1961. So it is down on the day, but Kamal so far is up on the trade. Oh, Morgs, you sold that? Thank goodness. I kept looking at that going, Morgs, what's going on here, man? Good. I'm glad to hear that. Morg says, Greg, if market weakness continues, will you be looking at shorts on stock names? Also, Greg, just like you go long on stocks that test well for an EMA crossover, do you also look for shorts? Yeah, I'm short right now, as a matter of fact. I'm short the Qs anyway. I shorted it Friday on the weekly. You know, shorting is a tough thing. There's certain levels and certain areas where I like to short, but when it's really gone down hard, there's a certain point where I think most of the meat is off the bone and it's more likely to go up than down. I like to short lower high V1s or V2s that way above the value zone that give me some, well, just like here, right? Here's a V1 that I shorted way above the value zone. You know, I'll certainly probably be covering somewhere in here, but things that have already made big, huge down move, I would be thinking more about buying them than to shorting them. But yes, it's the same thing. You know, if you can reject a level to the downside, it might be a buy. If you reject a level to the upside, it might be a short. But I'm even more particular with my shorts. But this Q trade that I had, I mean, of course, I didn't know it was going to go down, but it made sense from a risk to reward ratio. But we went above 70, below 70. We had a V1. There was a double top with a bearish divergence, and there was a good risk to reward ratio. So, so far, this one has worked out. Are you looking for shorts that back test for EMA cross unders? Some people use that. To be honest with you, I am not sure. I think I shouldn't even say, is it a 1530? Steve would know. I think a 1530 is, or a 1030 back test well on some shorts, but I don't have the ability to back test the profitability of cross unders like I do crossovers. But just be very careful. I've had a lot of people, ask me about shorting recently, and it's not as easy as it looks. I can tell you that. There's a lot of things going on that make the market go up. Government policies, news, executives wanting their stock prices to go up and doing everything they can. Shorts go down quick. The price of shorts move down a lot quicker than things go up. It's that old saying, stock prices go up by the steps and down by the elevator. But the thing with shorts is there's vicious counter rallies that can really get you out. So, but again, my favorite type of short would be far above the value zone, a lower high V1, V2 to the downside that gives you a good risk to reward ratio. Okay, so listen, before we move on to taking a look for the best end of the day trade today, looking for my 3 requirements, right? Confluence, combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Number 2, good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. And then number 3, consider how much account heat you have, how many positions you have, how many correlated positions you have, and also position size based upon the current volatility that's happening in the market. And market volatility is higher now, therefore you should have a smaller position size. But I like to go through Facebook. I like to go through Twitter. There's some really good channels out there with individuals that post really good information for us to read. It's free. It's worth its weight in gold. And this is Rainer Teo. At Rainer_Teo has a very large channel. Posts some really good things about trader psychology. So if you have not subscribed to Rainer Teo, do yourself a favor. He posts really good information. But let's see what he has to say. Potential loss is more important than how much you can make. There's a lot of wisdom in this saying here, everyone. Potential loss is more important than how much you can make. In other words, let's focus on what the risk is first, not what the profit. It is more important. If you go through a large drawdown, it can affect you psychologically in ways that are not worth the possible gain, because it can destabilize you. It can throw you off your game. Everything in my trading is keeping cool, calm, collective, not having too big of swings. I look at trading as a very long-term endeavor. I look at each trade as just one of the next 1,000 trades. I'm not going to get hung up or too distraught or euphoric about any one trade. So remember, potential loss is more important than how much you can make. Always look at potential loss. No matter how sure you are, things can go wrong. You can have the best setup. You can have 1,953 combinations or confluences of indicators. It does not mean it's going to go up that one particular trade. In my opinion, over the long run, those trades have a better success. You know, maybe you take it 100 times, maybe that thing's going to win 58% of the time, but still there's the other 42% of the time where it will not work. So no matter how good or how sure you are, remember, it can go wrong. Good outcome doesn't mean it's the right choice. What does that mean? That means you can take a horrible trade that works out for you, but it still wasn't the right choice to begin with. What you're going to do, if you start making bad trades that work out for you, you're going to start thinking this is going to happen all the time. It sets a precedence in your mind. It's a bad thing. Just take good trades. Bad outcome doesn't mean it was the wrong choice. So conversely, you can have a really good trade setup, totally legitimate across the board, that doesn't work. Doesn't mean it was the wrong choice. It just meant that it didn't work that time. But if you take that trade 100 times, more likely than not, more than 50% of those trades will be winners. And this is my favorite one. If you risk small, nothing can destroy you. You know, I tell this to my students. I've mentioned it here many, many times. You are never going to get the experience you need to become an expert trader if you blow up your account. Can't do it. You will never get the experience. And so many beginners blow up their accounts because they're not position sizing properly. They're not taking into account volatility. They're holding on to losing trades too long. So the key, big picture here, everyone, is if you risk small, there's nothing wrong with that. It's going to keep you in the game. Nothing can destroy you if you position size conservatively. And the added benefit of that is that you're going to be in the game. You're going to acquire experience, and that's how you're going to become a better trader. So anyway, potential loss is more important than how much you can make. No matter how sure you are, things can go wrong. Good outcomes doesn't mean that it was the right choice. Bad outcomes doesn't mean it was the wrong choice. And my favorite, if you risk small, nothing can destroy you. So thank you, Rainer Teo, and please go and support his channel, Rainer Teo, over on Twitter. Oh, Steve says, TrendSpider now allows backtesting for short signal cross unders. Oh, interesting. Well, there you go. I did not know that. TrendSpider is a really good trading platform, and there's one more benefit right there, that you can do cross unders. Lova says EXPD. V1 at the 100. Not anymore. It would have been okay. We made a lower high, but we washed out this low. Earlier in the day, we did have a V1. Yes, that is correct. Now we do not. This also looks like it rejected the 50 RSI to me, which is, let's see, did it? Yes, it did. So that does not interest me at all. It untriggered the V1, it rejected the 50 RSI, and it rejected the 50-day moving average. If it had closed above all those, it would be a different story. VF Corporation. V1 2 days ago, still in value zone. I think we're late to the party on this one. This would have been the place to buy it if you were to buy it. Now it looks a little chasey to me. UPS, maybe not good because of 50 RSI resistance. Yes. Oh, well, let's see. Sorry. Yeah, it already rejected the 50. It is a false breakout to the downside. It is a V1, but you have to look at those little small intangible things about it rejecting the 50. Hey, everybody, give me 30 seconds. I have to go blow my nose so I can speak easier. Hold on. Okay, thanks for holding on. Sorry. But good, good symbols there, Leva. Good analysis. Sorry, I feel like I'm always shooting them down, but I just want to give you the best feedback I can get. Doesn't mean they can't go up from here. I'm just saying the way that I trade, I wouldn't. Mork says, Steve, I will look at that as I use TrendSpider. Oh, excellent. ABBV. Yeah, that's not bad, Kamal. Now that one's good. That's a bullish engulfing bar, 520 crossover. Let me write this one down. Let me put this down here in the potential category. Let's look at that a little bit closer. Let's look over on the weekly. Ooh, look, we came down. We're winding up. We're creating this wedge pattern. Rejection. Yeah, I quite like that, as a matter of fact. I quite like that. Let me do some math on this. People ask me, what math are you doing? I'm taking my maximum allowed risk, dividing it by the value of the 2 ATR, which is right here, 511. So for example, on this trade, if I'm willing to risk $2,000 on this trade, I would divide it by 511, and that would show me that I would want to buy 391 shares. Really important to position size, everybody. But that does look pretty good. Fractal breakout, bullish engulfing bar, MACD crossover. This is one of the best ones I've seen today. Thanks, Kamal. Mamal, hello. I'm taking your course on Udemy, dropping in to say hi. I am so glad. Thank you, Mamal. Appreciate that. If you have any questions on the course, please let me know. I repeat that in all the courses. Come on by if you have any questions, and I really mean it. And thank you for purchasing that course. I hope you're finding it helpful. Morg says, hi, Steve. Do you use cross-under signals for potential shorts? Kamal says, I am out of 8. Okay. Let's see. Maybe you remind me at the end there, Kamal. Tim is here, buddy. Good to see you. Thanks, Steve. I was looking at your video back test this weekend on TrendSpider. Oh, great. Yeah, because I know Timothy is interested in shorts, and we need to have our call as well, Tim. Tim says, in your paid course on your site. Oh, on that site. Okay. Johan, thanks, Kamal. Me too. Johan wants to look at FCFS. FCFS. I don't know how this back tests, if it back tests well over the 200-day moving average, Johan, but it does give you a pretty good risk to reward. It's not quite at the second ATR channel, so I would still take it. The only thing I would mention here is this 200-day moving average seems to have lost respect. The price seems to have lost respect for the 200 because we closed under, we closed over, we closed under, we closed over, we closed under, we closed over. See what I mean? So it's not really acting as real serious support anymore. It looks like it rejected the 50-day moving average. It's up today, which is good, but still, it does give you a good risk to reward ratio. If it were me, I certainly would get out if we had to close under the 200-day moving average. Look at this, everybody. This is a great example. I talk about confluences on multiple time frames. Look on the daily. See how the daily rejected the 50? The downward sloping 50, it rejected it here, here. It's rejected it again. If I go to the weekly, look, I'm right at the 50 on the weekly. See what I mean? So there's a confluence of overhead resistance of the 50 on the daily and on the weekly. So people that sell at the 50 on the weekly are coming in. People that sell on the 50 on the daily are coming in. To me, that's a tough putt to get over that. If you can, it's good, but this is a very good example of confluence. I don't mean bullish confluence. I mean bearish confluence with a rejection of the 50 on the daily and a rejection of the 50 on the weekly. So that definitely concerns me. All right, well, we do have some potentials today. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay. Well, Lockheed Martin has a bullish engulfing bar and a V1 and a crossover. I don't like that we're right there at that 50 though. I don't like that at all. Not one single bit, and we're a little high. We're at resistance. We've rejected the 50. It's better on the weekly, but I mean, it has a bunch of stuff for sure. I just don't like that we rejected that 50. I just the mere fact that it rejected the 50, I would not take it. ALKS, okay, so this one is a much lower risk type of setup. Doesn't mean it's going to go up, but we did bounce off the 100. We do have a V1. If we come over here to the weekly, just what really concerns me is this big bar. Oh, sorry. All right. What concerns me is this big bar here on the weekly. Not a lot of volume here. We haven't crossed above the 5-day EMA. I don't know. There's really nothing about this one, ALKS, that really I like a lot. SSRM, under 30, over 30. Looks like we may close above the 5 EMA. If I go over here to the weekly, what I don't like about this on the weekly, everybody, is last week we had a big down bar. We've rallied right to the halfway of that bar. Doesn't mean it can't go up any higher, but statistically speaking, when you have a big down move like this, and see how it rallied right to the 50, pegged it, and that was about it. So it seems a little chasey. I think I'll pass on this one as well. MasterCard, well, big day today, 3% false breakout to the downside. And what I mean by that is here was the previous low. Today, we washed out that low. We set off all those stops. We have a V1 bullish engulfing bar, V1 and a bullish engulfing bar. Looks good. The only thing is it's too high for me. It's above the value zone. I really don't like to buy things above the value zone unless it's a crossover, and even then I won't buy if it's above the second. So I think this one is a little extended for me to buy as well. Facebook, okay, here we go. So we do have a rejection of the 200-day moving average. We're very close to having a V1. What stands out to me on this, however, is we have a big down move on Friday on high volume. We have an attempted rally here today. It is down a little bit, but it's rallied off of its lows on low volume. Looks like we're rejecting the 1 ATR channel. We've untriggered the V1. This is all concerning me. I mean, you certainly could take this. This is a rejection of the 200. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly, it looks like it's, it's in the value zone. That's at least good. It did reject the 50 RSI already on the weekly. Yeah, I think I'm going to pass on Facebook as well, but it's more gut instinct than anything, because it is a rejection of the 200-day moving average, which is valid, but I think I'm just going to let this one go. Vertex, big strong. I mean, we came down, we made this base. Today we had a V1 to the downside. We have a bullish engulfing bar. We're back in the value zone. We came from a lower low. There's quite a lot of risk there. If it were me, I mean, I think chances are more likely than not it continues up a little bit, but then I think it's going to come back down because the people that bought here, when they sense weakness, they will sell. That will cause selling pressure. That will move it back down. I think the best move on VRTX would be to look for a higher low V1 or V2 in the future. Ollie I have, well, this looks like I'm going to have to get out of Ollie. Looks like it's going to close below the 200-day moving average. So that makes it easy. So if it does close under the 200, I will get out of this. And Ad Vibe, probably the best one I've seen. We have a high here, two lower highs to the left, high here, two lower highs to the right. That is a fractal coming out of some sideways motion. We also have a V520 crossover. We have a V1. We have a bullish engulfing bar. Over on the weekly, I mentioned that we came down, inside bar, inside bar, inside bar. This is winding up like a watch, essentially. And wherever it breaks, you see this V that's happening here. We've broken to the upside. That is my favorite trade of the day so far, for sure. For sure, without a doubt. Doesn't mean it's going to go up. Doesn't mean it's going to go up. All right, what's going on here? Oh, here we go. All right, so yeah, Ad Vibe is my favorite for today. Now, let me look at these other ones here. EXEL, I don't see anything going on with that. New York Times, big strong up move, but it's too chasey for me at this point. CYBR, it's working on a V2 to the downside and a rejection of the 50 RSI. So nothing there. Home Depot, I don't see anything there. BTI, bullish engulfing bar, a little chasey. Chewy, false breakout to the upside and a V1 to the downside. That looks bearish. FNV, big strong day up, but it's too chasey. It's too chasey. And AKLS we already looked at. All right, so before I get on to anything new, let me take a look at my current positions. All right, my 520 on Alibaba on the weekly, not doing well. But I make decisions on this on Friday. CLX is doing fine, right about break even, but no reason to sell this. CNK, gonna have to watch this one very carefully. 70.52. If it closes under, I will at the very minimum get out of half the position. So I will have to watch this one at the end of the day. Ollie currently under the 200. My end of day stop was a close under the 200. So if it closes here, I'll have to take the loss on that one. My Q's short position is doing excellent. I mean, to hit one profit target in one day is pretty good on the weekly, and who knows? Possible, maybe even hit that second one there. I don't know, but that one's doing well. That will be a keeper. SPY, of course, I'm buying the overnight SPY trade again. It was a losing trade over the weekend. And then WSM. I would get rid of this I would get rid of half of this if it closed under 50 RSI. So that looks like a keeper. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of that. And get rid of that. All right, so I am keeping my eye at the moment on CNK. See if it can hold that 70. If it doesn't, I'll sell all or I will sell half. Look at my notes here. Okay. $141.81. Okay, so get rid of those. Man, I'm having some problems with my trading platform. Okay. Okay. So Q's making a new low on the day. So it looks like Ollie is going to close. Well, it could hang in there. I don't know. We'll just have to see. CNK is now under 70. I'll tell you what, I have had a good trade on CNK. I think I'm just going to pull the trigger and get out of it. The market here has scared me a little bit, and that's a 13% return. So I'm just going to go ahead and lock that in. Gosh darn it. There we go. And over here, the same thing. Okay, so I'm selling C and K. I'm just going to lock that in. So Ollie, it's potential that could hold. I don't know. ABBV is what I'm really looking at today. So I'm going to buy this one over here in this account. Baba dipped under the 200 SMA. Yep, I'm trading it on the weekly, so that doesn't affect me, but if you were trading it on the daily, that would be something. GSK. It's okay. It's a bit of a Kamal trade. Maybe Kamal could comment on GSK for Johan. Eli Lilly. It's not bad. It's a false breakout to the downside in a V1. Facebook had a rejection of the 200. Yavar says 250, but I see the rejection of the 200. I don't like the down volume on Friday and the low up volume today. So this would be a legitimate trade with your end of day stop at the 200. Green dot. Yes, it's a V1, but it looks like we've rejected the low of this range here, and it looks like we rejected the 50. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, if my platform will let me do this, because it's really acting up, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Ollie. Ugh, I don't know if it's going to let me. Gosh, dang it. I'm not even going to be able to. I bought ad vibe in another account. Okay, so I did buy ad vibe there. Yeah, I'm having issues with this right now. I think all the volume coming in, it's causing it all to slow. Okay, that's it. Wow, that was frustrating. Okay, so let me take a look where I bought let's see. All right, ABBV. 107.17, and I bought SPY at 387.03. Okay, so Clorox I kept. It is positive. CNK I am out of. That was a good trade. It did close under 70, so I feel good about that. Ollie, I am out of. Add vibe. 107.17. Wow. Big trade on cues on that short. Big trade. Wow. SPY, I got it 387. Oh, 03. All right. Right about where I sold it. And WSM, I kept. All right, so I got out of Ollie with the close under the 200. Actually, all in all, not too bad of a day considering. I'm very grateful for that, I can tell you that. So listen, if any of my students, past or present, have any updates for me today on their positions, any new entries or exits, please go ahead, put them in the chat. Just real quick before I get those updated, just to remind you, I do teach private lessons in the evening time via Skype if that's something you're interested in. I think one-on-one is the very, very best way to teach. So if you are interested, I teach a 15-hour course, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, total of 15 hours. So I teach you everything I've learned. I teach you all 5 of my trading strategies. I've had some really good students come out of this class. So if you are interested, I know it would help improve your trading. Just send me an email. Email's in the description of this video, or you can reach out to me on Skype and not Skype, but on Twitter, and just mention that you have a possible interest in the one-on-one course. I'll write you back. We'll have a free Skype call. Just want to learn more about your trading, more about your trading goals, challenges. It's a good time to ask me about the one-on-one, any questions you have about the one-on-one. And then after the call, you can think about it. And if you're interested, you could write me back. And alternatively, I do have a new course up on Udemy where I teach the deep dip buy stock trading strategy. One of my very favorite. I think it's a really good course. It's only like $13 on Udemy. It's about close to 10 hours of video, really good stuff. So if you're interested there, the link's in the description. And then if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It helps to build the channel. It helps to keep the channel around, lets YouTube know that there's some valuable content in here, so they'll get out there and share it a little bit more. So, excuse me, apologize for my voice and everything today. All right, so Gary got in to add vibe. Okay. Yeah, it is acting up. It's acting up for you as well, Gary, huh? Made some trades today and nothing showing positions. I know. I went through the same thing. Okay, we are out of Ollie. Johnson and I are out of Ollie. Wish we could win them all, but we can't. Kamal is out of 8. Johan's out of 8. Glad to see that. VIX went roaring up. Man, fantastic trade, Gary, on what was it? VUZI. Fantastic. Proud of you, my friend. Really, really. That's wonderful. Okay, so Johnson's out of Ollie. I'm out of 8. Kamal's out of 8. Johan's out of 8. Gary's an add vibe. Anybody else take anything else? What did Facebook do at the end of the day? That held. Do a little math real quick. Okay. Lova says, just saw today that you included PDFs of your lecture notes in the Deep Dive series. Thank you. Yeah, I put in PDFs for every single one of the lessons, or at least the applicable lessons, in case you wanted to make some notes and so forth and so on there, Lova. So yeah, I hope that. And I also put, oh, not in that one. No. But yeah, you have the PDFs and you also have all the videos. Have those been helpful for you, Lova, that course? I would appreciate some honest feedback. I tried to be as detailed as possible in that course and just try to build and build and build upon. But I'm glad I finally got that out, and I hope that you're enjoying it. And I hope Mamal is enjoying it as well. All right, so I have Johnson out of Ollie and myself, Kamal out of 8, Johan out of 8. And I think that is it. Kamal says Lily, but I don't think that was an ad, right? Wow, what a day. What a day. Okay. Well, the market feels like it's changing to me. You know, I mean, it's felt that way for the last few days. The NASDAQ has been underperforming significantly. I think crypto was down as well. Well, down 2,000 points. It was down 3.58%. But my gosh, it was much lower. It was down 7,000 points lower. But this is an interesting bar on crypto. I mean, it rallied back off the low, but there was increased volume here. Still a V1. Did hold the 70 RSI, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But the easy, nice move up here seems to be over with this bar here. All right, so the new position today was in ad vibe, a lot of confluences, 520 crossover, V1, bullish engulfing bar, trigger of the fractal. Looks like we have MACD go positive or very close to positive, but what I like on ad vibe on the weekly is this move down, inside bar, inside bar, inside bar. We know what happens when things move sideways. For a while, after a while, sideways movement will lead to a big move up or a big move down. What will be my stop on this trade? Well, really kind of depends what I decided to take this as. This is confluence signals. I could choose with the 520 crossover. Most likely what I will do is if it closes below halfway of this bar, of today's up bar, that will be my stop. And to do that, it's going to have to close below 50% Fibonacci on one hand. On the other hand, it's going to have to also close below the support of the 5 and the 10 and the 20 and the 50. So that is why I took that trade, because it's a strong move up today, strong move on volume, and there's a lot of support revolving around a very clean area. And so anyway, not too bad today. I am definitely grateful for that. I'm glad I had a little short position going on. So that's that. Tim says, excellent course. Thanks, Tim. Very detailed. Thank you. Kamal says, thanks, Greg. Have a good day. You too, Kamal. Tim says, as well, Kamal. Johan says, thanks, Greg, and everyone. Have a nice rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. And let me just let you off with this, as always. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction, by Martin Kornfeld. So let's remember this. Let's try to go out. Let's try to do something nice for at least one person every day. It will make their day. It will make them feel better. It will give them some faith in humanity. And it will also be good for you, right? Giving is the best. It's better than receiving. So let's do that for one human. Let's try to make that a point every day to do one nice thing for human. And let's also try to do one nice thing for an animal too. If you come across an animal, whether out in the wild or somebody's pet or your own pet, show it some love, give it some love, take it on a little walk, give them a little treat, you know, little something. So let's try to do one nice thing for a human. Let's try to do one nice thing for an animal. Lovett says, yes, I'm only on the 7th one right now. It's a lot of information and very well organized. It's making me more efficient at reading charts. Very helpful. Oh, great. I'm glad to hear that, Love. And if you have any questions, bud, you just let me know, okay? And also, if you like today's podcast, if you could hit the thumbs up button on the way out, I would really appreciate that. It only takes a couple seconds and then you can get on with your day. But only if you like today, right? Okay, well, have an eclectic mix here of positions. Weekly trade on BABA to the long side, which is down. Daily trade on Clorox, which is up. Ad Vibes, the new position today with a confluence of signals there. The Q short position on the weekly is worked out nicely so far, for sure. Have an overnight SPY trade for tomorrow. WSM slightly underwater by about 11 cents. So, you know, there's your mix. You have weekly trades, you have daily trades, you have overnight trades, you have long positions, you have short positions. So, you know, it's a good mix. It's a good mix. I'm not too heavily focused one way or the other. All right, well, you can probably hear it on my voice. I am really exhausted, so I'm going to sign off. Wish everybody a good rest of your day. I'm going back to bed. I have to teach tonight, so I have to be strong. And looking forward to that, Carlos. So anyway, be good, be safe, have a good rest of your day, and we'll see what the market brings tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow during the last hour. Take care, everyone, and thanks again for coming. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.